Something's changing in Burkina Faso. You can feel it in the air, a kind of electricity, a sense that a turning point is here. Under the leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the nation is stepping into a new era, overhauling its military with heavy weapons and armored vehicles that many thought were out of reach. And it is making people ask, is this Burkina Faso, or maybe all of Africa, finally waking up to something bold and new? This isn't just talk. In January 2024, the government unveiled a huge shipment of Chinese-made arms. We're talking 6 WMA-301 fire support vehicles with powerful 105mm guns, self-propelled mortars mounted on tactical vehicles, and crates filled with mortars and ammo. Captain Traoré has been clear. This is just the beginning of a larger strategic plan announced late last year. There's a serious reason for this buildup. Burkina Faso is battling a devastating security crisis. Jihadist groups have seized control over vast parts of the country, and the army has been stretched thin, fighting not just on the ground, but also for its own morale. They've desperately needed reliable firepower, mobility, and modern equipment to reclaim territory and protect their people. Traoré's message is simple and powerful. Sovereignty and security go hand in hand. Without the tools to defend yourself, you're permanently vulnerable, and this move has stirred up a lot of emotion. For many Burkinabés, seeing these new machines roll in, seeing the state finally flexing its muscle, sparks an incredible sense of pride. It feels like, at last, something tangible is being done to fight back against the militants. It brings hope that the government can restore its presence in regions where fear has ruled for too long. But with this hope comes a sense of anxiety. People worry about the conflict escalating, about becoming dependent on new foreign powers, or about this newfound strength being misused. The history of this region is filled with promises that were never kept, and everyone knows that powerful weapons can create powerful problems if they aren't handled with wisdom and accountability. Traoré isn't just buying weapons, he's fundamentally shifting the country's alliances. Burkina Faso is moving closer to China and Russia for military hardware, training, and support. This isn't just about getting guns. It's a major geopolitical realignment. It's a declaration to the world, especially to former colonial powers, that says, "We will no longer be dependent on you. We will not be dictated to." This message resonates deeply, especially with the younger generation who feel the lingering effects of colonialism in their daily lives. They see this as a long overdue step toward true independence. Of course, critics and international observers raise valid concerns. They warn about the risks of militarization without strong democratic oversight, the potential for human rights abuses, and the danger that these weapons could end up in the wrong hands, making the conflict even worse. They argue that weapons alone can't solve a crisis that's rooted in poverty, injustice, and a lack of infrastructure. So is this truly an awakening? In a way, yes. It's an awakening of self-assertion, a powerful statement that says, we can and we will stand up for ourselves. It's an attempt to rewrite the narrative from one of victimhood to one of agency and strength. But awakenings are never simple. They are messy, complex, and filled with both hope and risk. Right now, cautious optimism is spreading. As people watch these new military convoys, they wonder if things might finally change in the remote villages where life has been paralyzed by fear. Will the roads become safe again? Will farmers be able to return to their fields? Beyond the practical, there's a psychological shift happening. The idea that the state is no longer powerless is taking root. There's a growing belief that in unity, there is strength. Not just the strength of guns, but the strength of resolve, identity, and a shared purpose. This military buildup feels like more than just a national defense strategy. It feels like a heartbeat echoing across Africa. For generations, the continent has been told it needs outside help to survive, to defend itself, to grow. But now, with Burkina Faso carving its own path to security, a different story is unfolding. It's a story that says self-reliance isn't just a dream. It's becoming a reality, one armored vehicle at a time. This decision to modernize the army is about more than just firepower. It's about dignity. It is about reclaiming a confidence that was slowly drained by decades of dependency on foreign aid that often came with invisible strings attached. When Captain Traoré stands before his soldiers as new equipment arrives, people see more than just machines. They see a symbol of independence, a symbol of an Africa that is choosing its own direction, without waiting for permission. There's a pride in the air, and it's contagious. The conversations have changed. People are speaking more boldly, more hopefully. It's not blind faith, but a genuine belief that Africa can protect its own people and define its own destiny through unity and self-determination. The growing partnerships with China and Russia feel like a quiet revolution happening in real time. For so long, the country's future seemed tied to the West, especially France. But now, the balance is shifting, and you can feel it. This new direction is emotional, almost spiritual. It's about stepping out of the shadows of old powers and finding new partners who seem to treat the nation with mutual respect. In the streets of Ouagadougou, you hear people talking about breaking free. It's as if the country is finally breathing a different kind of air, one that isn't thick with colonial memories and external demands. Of course, the risks are real, and not everyone agrees on this path. But one thing is undeniable. Burkina Faso is no longer afraid to choose for itself. This shift feels like a declaration that Africa is ready to claim its place in the world on its own terms. After years of living with fear and uncertainty, a fragile but growing hope is taking root. Seeing their army better equipped and their leaders speaking with confidence brings a kind of emotional relief that is hard to put into words. This is about pride, dignity, and seeing a glimmer of light after a long, dark struggle. But beneath the optimism, there's a quiet understanding that power is a delicate thing. Hope needs to be protected, not just by weapons, but by honesty, fairness, and accountability. People want security, but they also want trust. They need to know that the government promising them freedom won't turn its strength against its own citizens. This delicate balance between power and compassion, between authority and justice, is what will determine if this new chapter will truly last. It is what people whisper in their conversations and hope for in their prayers, stability that comes not from fear, but from fairness. Because in the end, it's not just the strength of weapons that will rebuild Burkina Faso. It's the strength of the trust between the people and those who lead them. If you've been moved by this story and believe Africa's journey deserves to be seen and heard, then please, be part of this movement. Subscribe to our channel so you never miss the stories that matter. Hit that like button to show your support and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice keeps these important conversations alive. Thank you for watching.